timelines. Alright, I'm going to explain to you how to do timelines. This is going to be cut into two parts. First of all, I'm going to do the maths and stuff behind it, and then I'm going to try and film myself doing one. So let's see how we go. Remember, as a group, you all have to have the same dating convention. So you need to decide, are you doing BC and AD or BCE and CE? Doesn't matter which one you do, as long as throughout your entire exhibit it's all the same. That's including your timeline. You'll also be marked on your dating conventions, so we need to make sure we have dates in our exhibit, and a timeline is a great way to show that. So these are the steps. Figure out your events that you're going to put on your timeline, put them in chronological order, figure out how many years between your oldest and the most recent event, measure how long your paper is, do a calculation, draw up your timeline, and add in your events. So let's do it step by step. Figure out the events that you're going to place in your timeline. These are the events I'm going to use. The Great Sphinx is built. The first pyramid is built. First plows are attached to an ox. The 10-year rule of Tutankhamun begins. Valley of the Kings starts with the pharaohs. And the hieroglyphics are used to keep trade records. These are my 6 things. If you need help figuring out which events you should do, shoot me an email. I have to put them in order. All of mine are BC, which means my largest number is going to go first because that's the furthest in the past, if that makes sense. So here I've put them into an order. That'll be helpful for yourself to remember. Then you've got to get your last event and your first event and figure out how many years are between them. So if they're both BC, what you do is you get the bigger number on top, and you take away the smaller number. So I have 1,868 years that have to go on my timeline. Now, just for in case sake, let's pretend that this was AD. What I would do then is I would add them because it's 3,200 to get to the 0, and then it's 1,332 after the 0. So I would add them then. And that would be if that was an AD. If both of yours are 80, it's the same as this. You put the bigger one on top and take away the smaller one. Okay? So this is my number of years. 1868 years. Okay? I'm just going to remember that. 868 years. Now, measure how long your paper is. I've measured my paper. My paper is 63 centimeters. Cool? That's the entire length. I don't want my thing to go all the way to the end, so I'm going to round it to 60 centimeters. And I'm going to round this to 1,900 years. So I've got 60 centimeters, 1,900 years. It's best to round your centimeters down and your years up. Do a calculation. Alright, so what you have to do is you have to take the years, which I have 1,900, and divide it by the centimeters. Alright, so grab your calculator, which I'm just doing now, and type it into your calculator to figure out, my calculator doesn't want like me, divide by 60, and mine equals 31.6 recurring. So 31. It's very risky to round down because otherwise you might run out of room. If you have an extra piece of paper that you could attach to the end of your timeline, then you're fine to round down. I'm just quickly thinking if I can round down. If I go 60 times 30, how many years is that? It's 1,800. I need 1868. No, I can't round down. So that means I'm just going to round up. And I like easy numbers, so I'm going to round up to 50 years. You could round up to 35 years, but then I figure that's a bit more math that you have to do. So I am going to say that 1 centimetre equals 50 years. And just for myself to remember, 10 centimetres equals 500 years. All right. Then I'm going to draw up my timeline, and I'm going to add in my events. But I'm going to do that and try and film my hands doing it at the time.